What is up, everybody? Today is an exciting day in our little colony here. Today is the day that our three little duplicants find out what they're going to do for the next however many days they stay alive. So, what I mean by all this is we got the jobs board. Finally, we got it researched. I'm going to click into R right here and just advanced research. It's actually done pretty simply. You don't need the supercomputer or anything like that. We got quite a bit of research done, but we're not quite ready for the supercomputer yet. But we got our jobs board, which is under stations. Right there, jobs board, next to supercomputer, blah, 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 blah. So I'm going to click it. I'm going to click down here into jobs, and we have three little duplicates, and they're all going to have whatever they're good at. It's going to tell you basically like Ashken is better at mining. So cool. We have three basic tier 1 slots and we have three duplicates. Perfect. And then Rowan is going to be really good at building. And then a gopher, that's going to be pretty much anybody. But for now, I'm going to pass that up because we need someone to be a researcher, which is, for me, very important. And you see, Frankie isn't the best at it, but he likes it. So let's go ahead and give them that. So, yeah. Frankie will be the researcher. He'll get better at it. Don't worry. Just because they're not the best for the job at this particular moment does not mean that they won't become good at it in time. So now, Ashken is becoming, let's see, I already forgot what it was. Looks like he's going to become a miner. That was really slow. Ashken, you should learn to put your hats on faster. Or is he going to be a builder? I'm not sure. I forgot already. Frankie, I think I know you're going to be a researcher. He'll put on a cool little hat. Let's see it. Bring out the hat. Yeah, it looks like one of those like read your mind hats for robotics. And then Rowan, come on, buddy. They're just saying hello to us, I guess. Come on, Rowan. What are you gonna get? And bam. So they've all got their hats on now. I believe that's. I can't remember if that's. I'm gonna check again. Rowan, what are you? I can't remember. Rowan is the architect, so he's gonna be the guy who builds. I'm gonna speed it back up, because no reason to waste all time. And you can see that this is a small thing. I gotta real quick assign more research. It's a small thing, but it actually really helps the kind of like fluidity, the amount of work that they get done. Otherwise, they just kind of run around like idiots, not knowing what to do. Yeah, pretty much. This was a huge update, and when it happened, it changed the way I played the game a lot. So it's really cool. Eventually, you can see the jobs board, and I'll be going over this as we go. You got farm hands. They're really great for farming, obviously. Operators, not something you really need to worry about until you have actual machines. Groundskeepers, it's actually really, really nice to have that. Chef and art students. All these jobs may seem, like, not all of them seem really important, like gopher, but they're actually very important, each and every one of them. It's just having somebody to go around clean, somebody to go around and just do what they're doing, farming. It's exceptionally helpful. And you can see, though, that they don't have, well, one of them should have stuff to do. They don't have very much to do, so they'll do the other tasks as well. But it's actually kind of annoying sometimes when they do that, especially when you have something you really want them to get done. Uh-oh. And then I guess we're going to have ourselves a little food shortage while we're at it. So that's another thing I wanted to discuss in this particular episode. We got the oxygen situation sorted out, you see? Just the basic fix. Put it in that little oxidizer. Over here you see all this, the carbon dioxide has gathered right where I was hoping it would. And now, though, the problem is they're all very hungry, which is a fair point. You know, you got to eat. So let's go ahead and click 4. We'll get the microbe musher set up. The question is, where do I put it? I don't want to put it next to the plants because it does produce quite a bit of heat. I want it to be near the water because it does actually need water to run. So I'll put it next to the research station. I know from experience that the supercomputer will take up 3 slots. We can always get rid of this in the future, but as for now, we'll just put it right there and all will be good. As I said before, that these things take up electricity, so I was kind of waiting to do it until I absolutely had to. I may have waited a little bit late. I was hoping they could survive off of what I had here. Turns out they can't, so that's okay. It's gonna eventually tell me how much electricity this will need. The batteries have been full and they're doing really, really well. These are just little batteries, the very basic you can get. Basic generator, which if you stick with a pretty small amount of demand for the power system, it'll last like that for a very long time. So, but now that I am having a food shortage, I'm gonna go ahead and add some more plants because this is really a pretty bad situation to have. Over here you see edible, and they just got more, 4,000 calories. That's gonna last maybe a day. They eat about 1,000 calories per shot. There's 3 of them. Blah blah blah. You can do the math. But there's some food over here as well. This is just naturally grown. They can harvest this and eat it, which is fantastic. These muck roots, they are all food. So as you go, you can kind of explore and find more food for them. Oh, I wasn't turned all the way up. A couple of other things that I want to talk about while I try and let them sort this out is stress. So you can see up here in the top left by the cycles, we're on cycle 12 or day 12, whichever you prefer. The highest stress is 20%, Ashkin. Immune system is very important, but at the beginning, I'll tell you, yeah. But the stress is really important. They might start breaking stuff, they might start vomiting. They have really weird reactions, but it is a reaction nonetheless, and you have to kind of be weary of that. I've actually ended up, at one point in time I had a whole colony where I expected them to be high stress and vomiting, and you can build water, like tiles that allow water to go down, and they would puke and it'll go all the way down and collect in the bottom. Sounds gross, but it's actually a pretty decent source of water, so I kind of kept that up. But on this one, I want to keep them happy, I want to keep them fed and all that stuff, so we'll just try and do that. For the time being though, I'm going to hold off on the research until we can sort out this food situation. You saw that all of my research on tier 1 was completed, and yeah, so there we go. They're starting to harvest the food. You can see it over here. Lice, meal lice is going to be what they're harvesting. It's not a whole lot. It's about half a meal, but it can sustain the colony for quite a while. We're going to need to assign, what do we got here? Frankie? Let's give Frankie a new job. I know, sorry Frankie. I'll put him back eventually. See, he's gained 15% in the research. Once he gets that to 100, obviously, he'll move up, and I have to move him to the next tier, which is going to be tier 4, and then he's going to have a whole different skill set. The thing though you need to keep in mind is as you go up, they're expected to be in better condition. So if you have all tier 6 people, you better have your colony looking beautiful, being clean and tidy, and have 0 oxygen situation problems. So let's go ahead and move Frankie, even though he's really not into it, down to sous chef. The other 2 people, their jobs are very important. And let's go ahead and see if we can turn some... Literally, mush bars are the worst thing you can do. In a pinch they work, but they give them really bad stomach problems, and they end up just using your poor bathroom until it doesn't really work anymore. So we're going to try to avoid that. If the food situation doesn't get fixed, I will start making those, though. It is really kind of an ordeal. So it looks like all the food is growing. Well, that's good. And then it looks like they've mined everything. And yeah, so let's go ahead and... See, they're just waiting around at this point, which is never good. You don't want your duplicates to be waiting around. If there's nothing for them to do, you got to start looking into some of your new technologies. Even though I know there's a water situation going on, it doesn't necessarily have to be done. For example, I forgot that I had built this 3rd bed. I had a plan to get rid of this one, so I'm going to have them do that. And the reason for that is I want to set this up as like a sleeping area for them. So he's going to come and destroy it, although I'm not honestly sure why. He should be down here making food. Sweep that up, buddy. K is going to be your hotkey for sweeping. And there we go. So he's working on that. I could have them build better power systems, which... See, okay, I'm going to go over here and say that this is F3, opens up the heat menu. Green is perfect, and you can see the batteries are hot. They're like between warm and hot. Over time, they will heat this whole room up, and that will actually start spreading to the colony. You can start seeing it in through here. And without insulated tiles, which you'll get in the future, which I don't have yet, that can be a very serious problem. So I'm going to go ahead and say build these up here. Click 1 to open up the number 1. Have them build some tiles, and G for digging. I don't know why it's not... Oh, it's not D because D actually moved you. So, and then I'm going to have this room closed off, and so yeah. Basically, what I just did is I said, hey, when you guys have spare time, do this. and they will, and it's really fantastic. So we still have not sorted out the food situation. They're not dying anymore, simply because they happened to run across some muckroot. I honestly don't know where they found that, but they did. So we're gonna turn up the speed again. Terrible meal, he says. So he didn't quite like his last meal. So Ashkin, I'm sorry, buddy, that wasn't your favorite meal. You can see him talking, having a good time. This is a new thing that I'm experiencing in the game, is scheduling, and that's really cool. So they have work time, downtime. When they first wake up in the morning, it's sleep or cleaning time, and that's really cool. So they'll actually disinfect stuff like that. So anyways, that was my solution to the food crisis that I magically ran into. Just give them a micro musher and assign someone to sous chef. That'll make their priority to make food. And if worse comes to worse, you can have them start cooking mush bars, but I don't want to do that. That's a last resort because it just causes more problems down the road. The bathrooms need to stay, you can see here it says 9 visits. If you get down to 1 visit and nobody cleans it because, you know, it's just a bunch of simple little guys, they might not know to clean it, or they might have other priorities. It can be really messy and gross. So, what else can I talk about? I guess what I'll do is go ahead and cut it off here and wait till the next crisis. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to keep kind of bringing a new episode every time I'm playing and every time I run across a crisis. And hopefully a little Ashkin, Rowan, and Frankie, sorry Frankie, I got your name wrong. Frankie will be totally fine, but you never know. Maybe they need a new friend. One is available, but I'm waiting to do that because more mouths to feed and all that. Anyways, next crisis, next power shortage, next whatever it is, I will see you guys then. So that is going to be it. I really do hope you guys are having a great day, and seriously appreciate you giving my videos a watch. If you would like and enjoyed the video, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. You can tell I'm really new, and any help is seriously appreciated. Thank you, and have a great day.